without you. But trying to be mad at the change, yeah, you got a fight on your hands because you can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it. Now, as far as how internet comedians are embraced, I don't even think that's a term anymore. There's no such thing as an internet comedian. It's just all comedy now. That's the way the game has transitioned.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
Man, Chico B, how do you keep going, man? You always got a smile on your face, man. Is it ever a time when you be like in those quiet, still moments? Or?
Every day. You know what I mean? I say this, I've been saying this to a lot of people lately is, life this is a school of life. People like to call it the game of life, but I think it's the school of life. And every day you get a grade. Wow. Some days I get an A+, some days I get a D-, but I never fail.
Wow.
God don't ever let me fail.
He'll never let you down.
He'll never let me fail. You know what I mean? Like as long as I don't fail, I'm good. But it's my job to study. You know what I mean? In the school of life, you got to study, man. You got to give yourself that study time, and that's what I do every day. You know what I mean? I am very, very well in being self-contained, so I take the time out. Like he'll tell you, 97% of the time after my shows, I'm riding around in a circle on the highway just meditating and getting my mind right, because I need that for myself to be able to process all the things that go on in my mind every day. I tell people all the time, the most consistent thing that's going to happen to you in this life is your brain going to talk inside your brain. As we're having this conversation, all of us are having thoughts inside of our mind as we're talking. It's constantly going, and nobody can help you with that but you and God. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give yourself time to be able to have those types of conversations, no matter what you believe in. I don't want to alienate nobody, whether you don't believe in God or not. I do, but if you don't, just give yourself time to talk to the devil. I don't know what you're into, but just give yourself the time to be able to, assess yourself, because self-assessment is something that I don't think people do enough, and I think that if they did, we'd be living in a better place.
When I think about Ali Sadiq, when I had him on, he was like, Ali Sadiq was talking about the fact of when COVID was going down, all the, the internet comments, the guys who was doing that comedy on the internet, that's when they, the regular comic started to get on the internet more. Like, where do you see that now? As is it still as flagrant as it was, like far as the monetizations, just the way that people see the internet comics versus the way the traditional comics were that started like you did?
Man, the Etch-a-Sketch was the iPad at one point. That's the way I look at it. Etch-a-Sketch was the iPad, man. Shit changed.
It keep changing, don't it?
It keep changing, and eventually the iPad gonna be just as irrelevant as the Etch-a-Sketch. You live long enough, you're gonna see it. So that's just what it is. Be grateful of the fact that you was here to be able to see the change happen, and it didn't happen without you. But trying to be mad at the change, yeah, you got a fight on your hands, because you can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it. Now, as far as how internet comedians are embraced, I don't even think that's a term anymore. There's no such thing as an internet comedian. It's just all comedy now. That's the way the game has transitioned.
Yeah.
And it's just certain things you got to accept. I'm from Washington, D.C., but I had to accept that the DMV is a term that people are going to use. As frustrated as I am when somebody tell me, oh, you from the DMV? No, Nick, I'm from DC. I can't do it anymore. I'm not fighting it anymore, because I'm fighting against something that I have no control over, and that's change. It's going to consistently happen. So you got to learn how to embrace it. You can keep the old guard in small spaces. Make your house the place you go live back in 2001.
Yeah. You
can do that. That's your right. But when you come out here in the world, you got to adjust, baby. Because if you don't adjust, you ready to get put up out the way.
You're a different type of animal when it comes down to the way that you are as a comic, as a even acting, whatever I've seen you doing. You everything you embody and everything that you come up against. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not like you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen some actors or people try to get into certain things. It take them a little bit, but you're very convincing in the things that you apply.
I believe it. This is my life. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody else. I know that my biggest goal in life is to wake up every day and look in the mirror and be like, hey, nigga.
I'm that nigga.
We got another one. We got another one, Slim. He gave us another one. We get to do it again. You know what I mean? Like, that's my job. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care how you feel about me. It's your right. But I have to make sure that when I look in that mirror, I love what I see every time. That same effort that you put in trying to make other people like you, make sure you like you with that same veracity and watch the change that happens in your life.
Go ahead.
How do you stay eating healthy and being fit?
Who the fuck I said, hey, don't put no lies out. I am not eating healthy and being fit. Healthy? No, not at all. It's hard. That's one of the hardest things in the world.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's
because
difficult.
when I hit the road, it's hard. When I'm at home, it's easy.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the road, it's so hard to eat right.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, it's hard to eat right because that hunger kick in and make you a little different human being. You know what I mean? And that's the thing.
I trying to tell me.
No, not at all. Not when it come to that. Not at all. I wouldn't even get on here and fake like I'm talking about, man. Me and my security was riding. We was on the way from here to Houston. No, from New Orleans to Houston. We was driving. And I seen that nigga get 2 burger dogs out the gas station. And I couldn't judge him because we hadn't ate that day. And that was it. We had been looking for places, pulling over. Everything was closed. We got to that gas station. That nigga said, F it. Let me get 2 of them hot dog hamburgers. And I was like, damn, you finna eat the burger dog, nigga? He ate that motherfucker. I was laughing the whole time. He was like, man, I should have got another one. But that's what you end up, everything's closed. My job don't start till 7:30.
That's real.
So by the time I finish, I'm relegated to whatever the club got. If I don't order something from somewhere else, or I gotta just go to wherever's open. And you know what I mean? Late night food spots, most of the places that's gonna stay open after 10 p.m. is what you don't need.
And you don't work out?
I do from time to time, but it's not. But I'm not consistent in it. We was just having a conversation earlier about the fact that he asked me like, when did it click to me that a lot of the things that I came to understand in North Carolina when I went to college and where I say I really became a man. What age did it click for me at? And I was like 23 years old because that's when I did a real soul search, a real self-reflection. And cut everything off and just tapped into me and making sure that I did everything that I needed to do to become a better human being and a better man. And I've never really applied that to myself physically. When I was young, I was just a super athletic, super can do anything. Then I would work out to be able to stay, not fucked up, like fell all fat like that, with the front band of your drawers start flipping down, like I do it. That niggas know that when that front band of them drawers go down slim, it's ugly. So I'm doing whatever I can to not take my pants off and the band of my drawers be wrinkled. Like, nigga, damn, you done sat down and wrinkled the band of your shit. Don't even say Calvin Klein no more. It just say line on the bottom of it, LIEN. That's all you can see. So I've never really tapped in to that same space that I was able to tap into, that I'm always able to tap into mentally, physically. So that's another thing that I'm challenging myself to do, to be able to see just where I can take myself physically, to see what I can get out of it.
Man,
eating is the hardest part. That's the hardest part of it. Because it's like you damn near gotta hire somebody, man. You have to hire somebody to be able to do it for you, because if you don't, you gotta pay somebody to do it. If you really want to really tap into it, like, you gotta really challenge yourself, because, man, them cookies, man, like cookies.
They good, ain't they?
Man, what? I'm talking about, you ever had them thin Oreos?
Man, them thin ones.
I've had
the lemon. I like them lemon ones.
I'm talking, man, them right there. I will sit and watch an episode of Boss Talk and go through a whole
all of them.
row of them motherfuckers.
You didn't even know, like,
oh, man, what I done did. I done
you can't find them everywhere.
No, when you run up on them, you be like, there they go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? For real. Like, hey, let me get 2 of them. And I'm talking about sitting there eating them like chips. You like, man, I done ate 19 cookies. This is ridiculous.
No, chips and salsa is it for me.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? You go the whole bag just scooping, dipping. You don't even realizing that you just sitting there just, I can't believe he just sat there and act like he didn't know that Steve Harvey shit. I really need to tell him to stop doing that to people. Just coming in there acting like he confused. You done ate a whole thing of Tostitos. You done sat there in a whole Tostitos bag. I feel you. So that's the hard part, man. So I'm really trying to figure out the best possible way to tap into the eating better. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, getting older, man, that shit start to last a lot longer. That bounce back take a little bit longer when you make that bad decision. Like, I'm lactose intolerant. I had some ice cream, man. I'm glad I ain't had nothing to do the next day. I'm glad I didn't have nothing to do the next day.
Ice cream you could have got.
Yeah, but I ain't want that. I ain't want that shit that tastes like it ain't got no lactose. I don't know what it is about lactose that make that shit taste good, but that's the part that make the shit good. Is the lactose. Huh? What's
your favorite ice cream?
Man, that's a good question. I would have to say they have at what is it? Haagen-Dazs. The places that be in the mall.
Yeah.
They got like a raspberry white chocolate truffle ice cream.
Oh, okay. Never had
every time I see one of them, it be calling me like Pookie off New Jack City. I'm talking about calling me like, you can get a scoop. You can get one scoop, but I know if I do, game over. I'm talking about there is nothing I'm wherever I can go.
Away.
And listen, 30 minutes at the most. That's it. And that's the thing. That's a rule of mine. I shit on myself the last time when I was in 7th grade. I made a commitment to myself that day when I had to throw my shoes away that I would never shit on myself again. I will shit anywhere but on myself. So to see me on the highway, whoo, shit. You know how many places? That's what my fame helps me the most. Is that I can walk in a place, Chico Bean, hey, can I use your bathroom, please? I know you got to say, please, man, please. I did it in Vegas. I fucked around and went to the Haagen-Dazs. That's the last time I had the ice cream. I'm in Vegas. I'm doing some shopping, and that's my favorite place to shop in the world is Vegas. Because everything is right there on that strip, and you can walk it. So I walked down there. They had a Haagen-Dazs sitting right there. It was hot outside. I was like, oh, man, let me get me some ice cream. I went and got a scoop of the red, what is it? I can't think of the fruit. I think it's white cherry. Yeah, white cherry, white chocolate truffle. I got a scoop of that, and I got a scoop of vanilla to balance it out. And I'm just walking down, just eating it, and I'm feeling good. And I was going to see New Edition, right? So I go change my clothes, jump in the shower, change my clothes, get in the car. I'm driving to the hotel. I'm driving to the where they was at the Venetian. I'm driving to the Venetian, and that shit kicked in. I was like, shit.
Right. I forgot.
Oh shit! I had to pull over to the Cosmopolitan and just jump out the car in the valet. I was like, "Look, man, just charge me whatever. I gotta use the bathroom." He was like, "Oh, Chico Bean." Oh, I got it, man. Go ahead, man. I'm talking about almost. I always make it, but that lactose, man.
Easy.
No, hell no. I'm talking about asshole sound like a Russian nigga. Flugadush. It's like, this ain't worth it, man. So I got to figure out the options for the things that I like. I think that's the part that's the hardest part. If you can find that substitute or find somebody who know how to make the healthy shit taste like the shit you actually like, then you in the game.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk.